All right, so the first one was to create a database, right? And for the sake of this class, I'm going to use um, the transport sector. Okay, we have been doing a lot of retail, education, retail, health. Let's try something a bit different. Okay, let's go with the transport sector. So let's say that this is ABJ trans, right? So ABJ trans DB, that's the name of our database, right? So I'm going to go ahead after creating that. All right, I'm going to write the query for what? Creating our tables. Okay, create table. So the first table I'm going to be creating is vehicle. The vehicles that okay. So let's come back here and first thing I want to put is the vehicle ID. Vehicle ID, which should be an integer value, okay, which should be a primary key. Let's just keep it this way, sure. Rewriting it like this. It should be all capitals, even though. All right. I can also add I believe it was identity. If I can spell that correctly. Okay, identity. All right. So then the next one I'm putting is what? Vehicle name. Okay. Vehicle what? Name. Or should I call it? I should just call it type. Instead of name, let's call it type. Okay. It's gonna be a varchar 50 characters. Okay. And again, vehicle. I don't know why it's still highlighting it too. Vehicle. Oh, let's go. Manufacturer. Okay. Manufacturer. Again, voucher. $50. Then model is again another voucher. Another voucher 50. Remember, it can be more than 50. It can be 200, 255, as the case may be. Okay, capacity. That is what the vehicle can sit. Okay, integer. Then for type. Okay, so I believe with this we have our table. Okay, so we create our database, then run our execute our table on it. Probably I should just add the use over here. Use A B, and just copy this and paste over here. Okay, use abj, right? So I will ensure that it's using abj. The next step we are going to create is the route. So these guys have to follow through a place, just like we have people that are going along, people that are going a timer, people that are going different places. So what's the route these vehicles run? Okay. Routes. So the first route will be, for the first column will be route ID, which will be what? Int jar then tt. Remember I said that this is to increment one, start from one, increase by one. Okay. Then primary key, then route name, voucher. I think the next step I'll just keep everything constant. So route name might be very long, so I don't know how long a route name might be. Origin, so let's assume that you're working with a transport company. This is a sample of what the database will look like. Okay, if you are asked to create it from scratch, yeah. Let's put origin as 100 as well. Let's put destination. So because every route starts somewhere and ends somewhere, right? So we should have destination as well. 100. Then this may or may not be necessary, but just for the sake of what I have prepared already. Okay. Distance in kilometers. Okay, I'm going to be using a decimal field, which will be taking 10 digits in general with 2 decimal places. Okay, 10 digits in general with what? 2 decimal places. Alright, then vehicle what? ID. So each route should have a vehicle assigned to it, right? So this would lead us to something else. For those of you that are in this class, today's class, probably you've learned a lot. You can learn how to build full tables now, not just where we stop here. Okay. Now I remember in one of my sessions I told you that we have what we call foreign keys. If you could remember, what are foreign keys? Can you still remember? You can, right? Very good. So we're going to be looking at one of such now. Okay. Looking at one of such now. Okay. Well, can you give me the explanation I gave the last time?
Me?
Any one of you? You can't give the explanation. You can't explain what a foreign key is. A record derived from another table. Okay, if you say so. Any other person?
It's a foreign key. It's like it's a column. It's a group that links two tables together.
A column that links two tables together.
So it's like one by one by many, and many by many.
Okay, that's nice. I think that's pretty much everything in a rough shell, but that's fine. So a foreign key basically, like it says, links what two tables together, which is almost the same way you are putting yours. Okay, but not only does it link the two tables together, we have different kinds of linking. Where we have, like you said, one to many, right? One to many, then many to what? To one, and one to one. Okay, so one to many is mostly referred to as what? Foreign key, to be more precise. Okay, you have one to one, which means it's kind of a foreign key as well, but we don't normally call them foreign keys now because of terminology in some other languages. Okay, but basically, just think of it this way: we have majorly three kinds of table connection. Okay, one is one-to-one connection, where one record in another table is represented in another table. Okay, so one value from this table can only appear once in the next table, one-to-one. Then one to many means a table can have multiple values of itself in another word, in another table. So multiple occurrences of itself. Like that means one person can buy 100 oranges. Okay, one to one means one person, one orange. Okay, one to many means one person, many oranges. Then many to many simply means many oranges to many persons. Okay, so that's the easiest analogy to give to it. All right. So, well, here we are doing a one to many, so meaning one route, many vehicles. That's what we're doing here now. Sorry, okay.
It's not concerning
Nope. Are you afraid of the EF diagrams?
No.
Okay.
This vehicle ID means identity bracket one.
The first one, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, that particular statement, I don't understand.
So all we are saying here is basically we are defining a column, okay? Vehicle ID. We are saying the vehicle ID should be what? Integer, right? We are saying that also it should be an auto-incrementing column, which means that's what identity there stands for. Okay, it should increase by 1 and also start from 1. Okay, so to start, the first value will be 1, the next value will be 2 because it's increasing by what? 1. Then it should also serve as what? The primary key. That's what we are saying. So this is what makes this particular column now a primary key column in our database.
If I'm creating table, it's an ID, it's every primary key should be like this. Like
Yes.
like
If you are creating it from scratch every time, it should be like. So if I'm to change this thing to books now, all I will change is remove the table name and put books. Come over here, vehicle ID, and change it to book ID, and change other values to what it should be.
Related
Related to books also.
Okay.
So something applies to routes. Okay. So the this thing here, the idea here is that I have added my foreign key. Okay, but for this to be a foreign key, I have to tell the table, okay, SQL, all right, I have a foreign key, and it's asking me which column is the foreign key column, and I'm saying what? This vehicle ID here, right? And then the vehicle ID okay, since it's a foreign key, which table is it referencing, or is it referring to? Or okay, and I'm saying okay, reference what vehicles. Okay, vehicles was the table above. Okay, so in vehicles, which column is it going to be attached to? Okay, so I can choose to attach this from vehicle ID and put probably vehicle type. Okay, but for simplicity and ease of use, okay, and conventionality of what we've been doing in the class, okay, I'm going to stick towards vehicle ID, which is the simplest way to do. I don't want to start going through a lot of explanation, which I might even hang at some point. Okay, so remember, foreign key, you put towards the particular column that the foreign key is, then the reference is the table where the foreign key is directing to. Then in the table, you then put towards the column it will be linked to, and that is all.
Well, everything is there always a foreign key for everything?
No, this one doesn't have a foreign key now.
The first table
Doesn't have a foreign key.
I think maybe it's because it's the first table that's why it doesn't have it.
No, but something like that, yes. But if the table has no connection, okay, what creates foreign key is the relationship between tables. You remember I told you that this is how we represent things of another table in another table.
Yes.
When you represent an information in table A and you want to represent it in table B, that is what foreign key is. Instead of putting two tables together, okay, you just put one table.
Okay. Now we have two tables.
Mm-hmm. So now the last table, which is basically going to be trips. Okay.
So now, sorry to take it back. This we're using this foreign key because we're going to be making reference to that first table.
Yes.
Okay.
And because of we have this here, you want to say okay, every vehicle should belong to a route. That's what we're saying. Every vehicle should belong to a route. Okay, so that's basically what we said and what we're trying to achieve. All right. So I restart. So the last table rather, okay. So I'm gonna do a create. This time around I'll stick to SQL's conventions. Table. Anything I'm changing here? This is trips. What did I do now? Okay. So in trips,
Mr. G.I.G.
sir.
Somehow from my input here coming out red.
We typing first. That is one thing. When you're done typing, you now check if it's still coming out red. Then you can now start making changes to it. Let me see if I reverse.
So for this second table,
Mm.
is there a reason why you increase the voucher from 50 to 100?
No, I'm just like I said in the first table. It can be from 0 to 255. And value there. So what we do is, depending on the length of text you are expecting, you're anticipating that okay, this table should contain more text. Okay, so you now put more numbers. Okay.
But let's say we put 50 there. Would it affect the table?
Yes, to affect the table in the sense that it will make it not be able to contain lengthier words. Okay, that's what if you have a word that is, let's say, 50 characters. Okay, then and I have another one that is 100 characters. So if I say okay, voucher 50, that means a 50 character word might not enter into this thing. No, the voucher with 50. If your name now, if I count the letters in your name and they're like 80 letters in your name, right? It might, including the white spaces, it might not enter into a voucher 50. Okay, so that's why you need probably 100. So it can contain more. So there's no person that I think his name will not enter a voucher 100. Okay, even if you have like 4 names, the 4 names are going to probably not reach up to 100 characters. Okay, unless you're from Germany, where their names are like really, really long, so something like that. All right. So okay, this The next one is what? Now in this particular table we have a foreign key as well. Okay, because each trip should be linked to a route. Okay, route ID integer. Okay, and the part our assignment that we gave last time. Okay, we are doing it a different method. I believe most of us did what we could. Okay, but I felt like we've been doing a lot of what's it called? A lot of sales data. Okay, so I felt like let's go to transport and see a different sector instead of using sales every time. Is this just shining red?
Still, that's one of them.
Just keep typing until you're done. Is it the use part?
It's the foreign key part.
The foreign,
Ah,
yes, after foreign key, then the vehicle ID in brackets is showing red.
the vehicle ID. Did you check the spelling of the vehicle ID? Two of them, the two ones, and check if there's a comma. Okay, check all those things.
All the small ones.
Spelling at the same time.
Alright, just keep typing until you're done with what you're writing. Fair amount of fees, anyone they are called. So now the foreign key part. Okay. So we are using our route underscore ID and it references to what? To the route. Yes.
Why did you write
Why didn't I?
Why did you write ID?
Sorry?
Why are the two route IDs?
We are using two route IDs.
The one of the
Uh-huh.
ID.
Here?
Yeah.
Because it's foreign key now.
That's the foreign key.
Yes.
The route ID of
The trip ID is the primary key.
the
The route ID here is the foreign key. So it's going to represent all the routes inside of trips.
But if you're going to foreign key, how are you going to
I knew you would ask this question. I was just waiting for the question, sure. So I wanted to show that it doesn't matter where you write it, okay? But this line is what actually makes it a foreign key. Without this line here, okay, it won't be a foreign key. So whatever I put inside of this bracket will now serve as a foreign key. So I can put arrival time here, okay, and it now becomes foreign key, and I reference it somewhere else. But the point is, if I put arrival time here or departure time here, it won't make any sense because here I'm referencing it to the data types for everything. It will not coincide. It will not necessarily connect, basically. Okay, so that is why, well, the foreign key was defined here, the column that will hold the value. Here you are saying column. This should hold this value. Okay, so you're just basically creating a column as of now, right? Now, when you now came here, you are now telling it, okay, use this column that I created as my what? As my foreign key, which is exactly what we did here, just that we wrote them together. Okay, you are seeing the comma in between them. You are seeing that this is free. Okay, so it's basically something that we did, just that we wrote them closer to each other.
My question is this.
All right, go ahead.
When you put that route ID there as a foreign key,
Mm-hmm.
that means only becomes
So I'll go ahead and click on F or execute or F5 anyone. So everything was done okay. Alright, does not exist, meaning it was created but does not exist yet. So let me see if we have it yet. Alright, let's refresh. Oh, we should have done the white thing. I also wanted to check it from my
Why
one.
did you get that? So,
I'm listening.
there was one I encountered when I was doing this assignment.
Mm.
He told me that the table I made has already been created. I don't have this to see.
The table you created. Sorry?
I don't have this. He said the table, like when I was in the assignment, you see the table I created already exists. So, don't become a problem.
All right, no problem. We're going to fix all the let's do the next wise then. Let's run this level by level. Okay, let's start with this one and execute it first to create our database. Okay, so execute that one first, then we can now start executing everything under it. Okay,
Execute the first one.
yeah, execute the first one, create database, so that you can create the database actually. So we can now see the database. Okay, ABJ transport or whatever. Then I can now select from news and scroll the way down and execute, which should execute successfully. Okay, so what happened was, while it was trying to create the database, it tried to use it at the same time. Okay, also I had the error. I was thinking that it should be fast enough to do both. Say you encountered an error of the table already exists. Okay, so you research on how to solve that problem because I encountered it one certain time.
So, no, so I read this one.
Okay.
So, what he told me
Those.
It's correct. Okay. What that's basically doing is trying to take in the database. What I did is I do an if first. I don't drop. Okay? If exists. Okay. Yeah. Create if not exists. So that's why I use to create if not exists or if not exists create. Okay. So what this output is to make it to drop if exists. Alright. What happened was you already created the table and I wanted to make changes to it, and then it started giving you table exists, that kind of stuff. So, how is that? Now the next thing we're going to do is to the last part of the assignment now, which was to insert listing into it. To insert what data. Okay, so on a new clean, what's it called? Yeah, you can save. On a new clean query sheet, we're going to write our insert statements. Okay, so we're going to write our insert statements. I'm going to just write one and copy over the rest because it's quite lengthy. So we can look at what we have for today. Insert, okay, into. Now we're going to call the table that we want to put the record into. So first of all, create our vehicles, right? Then we now tell it the values that we want to what insert. Let's stick to SQL conventions of writing everything in uppercase. Okay, then let's start by what? Putting in the vehicle type. So this should be a bus, and the bus is a Mercedes-Benz bus. So it's not anyhow bus. These guys must be really killing it. Right? The next one is the manufacturer, right? So it's model 20. Sorry, not even boss, that's with Benz. Mind me, Benz PZ. I don't think this is actually a string, so it can contain this thing. It's not like normal value. For type is diesel. Okay, diesel, right? Then think we can add the next value, which is going to be the train. Okay, then it's sim as manufacturer item value and model is 400. Okay, then it's electric. Right, so let me try to rearrange this so that does make sense. So just do it this way. So it does make sense. It makes sense like this. Alright, so the next one is where I'm going to drop to 10. Okay. It's about time. I will not drop to 10. I'll just stop at 5. Auto Express 350. And the last one, I have an airplane. A Boeing. Model 737-800. Right? Okay, so then jets. Well, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's remaining one, which is the fifth one. Another bus. This time I find a Google 9700 45, and it's running on C and G. Okay, so for the sake of our time, I'll stop here. Right, that's for the vehicle. So I'll kind of copy over the rest for the routes. Okay. And copying the other one for these ones. Okay. So again, let's keep it in one line and leave the rest under. You may just do the first 3 if it's taking too much time to copy. So let's do another thing. We're supposed to be doing aggregate functions today. After writing this, so what was last night? I said, can you like repeat the assignment again? Create tables, database.
Create a database.
Mm-hmm. Create 2 tables. Record, that's all. Oh, okay, to be the same. Wow. All right. So now to do the update part. Okay. So I'm going to execute this one. This is just basically inserting. Okay. That's basically inserting. All right. So couldn't do 10. My apologies. Okay. I have to stop here so that I can do another thing for today. Right. So which So to post it on the WhatsApp group. All right. Okay. I haven't added you. Okay. All right. So let me quickly open the WhatsApp group. So what happened with the first error was when I remember we used identities, so I was still adding the the ID number. So it was telling me that I already had identities auto increment to take care of it. So that's why I had to remove them. Okay. So anyway, I don't know, network is trying to frustrate what I'm doing. Alright, so the last thing in the new sheet, while this thing is still loading, I'll send it across to us once it's done loading. Okay, so in the new sheet, I'm supposed to update 2 records. So first and second table, right? How did I say it again? Second and seventh in any of the tables. Okay. I'll just update one. Okay, I'll just update one table. It's basically the same thing. Okay, so update. Yeah. Update table. Okay. Or rather, let's update. We're supposed to update vehicles. Okay. Vehicles. Then I'm going to do set. Okay. Then I'm going to set the boss. So we had boss initially, right? We had 2 bosses. Okay, boss this and boss this. Okay, so I'm going to update based on boss. Okay, so I'm going to set their I believe that was capacity. Okay, I'm going to set the capacity to be the same thing. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. So set I believe it was capacity this way. Capacity equals to you have 14 seater bus, right? What's the next 18 seater?
18.
That big one is how many? The
Coaster.
yeah, not coaster, the other bigger one. The kind of one that the CNG buses are using, the government kind of long buses.
I don't know.
Coaster is how many?
32.
32. Let's go with coaster then. So let's set capacity to 32. Alright, and then remember we are trying to update multiple places. Where it was vehicle type, I suppose. Vehicle type is equal to boss, right? So vehicle type equal to boss, or should I use single one? Chan works equals to boss, right? So with this, first of all, before we even start doing anything, let's write a simple select to see what we've done so far.
Yeah.
Simple select all from Don't mind my typing, times my typing gets scary. Okay, sheet was vehicles. In the simplest we wrote insert. Okay, so I'm just basically writing select to see what was there. So we had capacity at the biggest bus was 45. This one was 20. Okay, so this time we are putting 32 for all of them. So they are all coastal buses. Okay, so that is that. Don't worry, you follow. Okay, you follow. So 2 rows we are affected. So we set capacity for every vehicle called every vehicle type that is bus. Okay, we set the capacity to what? 32. That's basically what we just did. So if I run this again, notice here was 20, here was what? 45. These are the 2 vehicle type that was what? Buses. Okay, so I will execute now. I should be seeing 32 for the both of them. Okay, so that is that.